I spent 10 years wondering why I kept failing in relationships, why I was always angry, why success felt impossible. Then I discovered Carl Jung's shadow work, and everything changed. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 hidden steps that transformed my life. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in history, discovered something shocking. We all have a dark side. He called it the shadow. Your shadow is the part of yourself you've rejected, the traits you hide, the emotions you suppress, the parts of you that you're ashamed of. And here's the truth. Whatever you don't face in yourself will control you. You see it in others. You judge it in others. You hate it in others. But it's actually living inside you. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 hidden steps to integrate your shadow. This isn't easy work, but it's the most important work you'll ever do. Let's begin. Step 1. Recognize your shadow. The first step is recognition. You need to identify what's hiding in your shadow. Here's the trick. Look at the people who trigger you. The ones who make your blood boil. The ones you can't stand. Ask yourself, what do I hate about them? Is it their arrogance? Their neediness? Their selfishness? Their weakness? Write it down. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Those traits exist in you too. You just don't want to see them. Jung called this projection. You project your shadow onto others because it's too painful to admit these traits are yours. Think about it. If someone is arrogant and it doesn't bother you, you just ignore them. But if it triggers you, that's your shadow screaming at you. Your triggers are your teachers. They're showing you exactly what you've buried inside yourself. The question is, are you brave enough to look? Step 2. Accept without judgment. Once you've recognized your shadow traits, the next step is acceptance. This is where most people fail. Because acceptance doesn't mean you like these parts of yourself. It means you stop fighting them. You stop pretending they don't exist. You stop feeling ashamed. You simply acknowledge, yes, this is part of me too. Let me give you an example. Maybe you discovered you're selfish. Your first reaction is, no, I'm a good person. I help people. That's your ego resisting. Your ego wants to protect your self-image. But your shadow doesn't care about your self-image. It exists whether you accept it or not. So instead of fighting it, try this. Yes, I have selfish tendencies. Sometimes I think about myself first. That's human. That's okay. This is radical acceptance. You're not justifying bad behavior. You're not saying it's okay to be selfish. You're simply accepting that this capacity exists within you. And here's what happens when you accept it. The shame disappears. The guilt disappears. And suddenly, you have control over it. Because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Step 3. Understand the root cause. Now that you've accepted your shadow, it's time to understand where it came from. Your shadow was created in childhood. Every time someone told you, don't be angry. Every time you were punished for being too much or too little. You learned that certain parts of you were unacceptable. So you buried them. You pushed them into the shadow. Let's say you're ashamed of your anger. Ask yourself, what happened when I got angry as a child? Maybe your parents yelled at you. Maybe they told you good kids don't get angry. Maybe they ignored you until you calmed down. So you learned, anger is bad. I must suppress it. And for years, you've been suppressing your anger, pushing it down, pretending it doesn't exist. But suppressed anger doesn't disappear. It transforms. It becomes passive aggression. It becomes resentment. It becomes depression. This is why understanding the root cause is so powerful. Because once you understand why you rejected this part of yourself, you can choose differently. You can say, I was taught anger is bad. But anger is just an emotion. It's information. It's telling me something needs to change. Your shadow traits aren't your enemy. They were created to protect you. But now, they're holding you back. Step 4. Express it safely. Once you understand your shadow, you need to express it, but not in destructive ways. This is crucial. You can't just unleash your shadow on the world. That's how people justify terrible behavior. Instead, you express it in controlled, safe environments. If you've suppressed your anger, find healthy ways to release it. Hit a punching bag. Scream in your car. Write angry letters you never send. If you've suppressed your neediness, allow yourself to ask for help. Start small. Tell someone you trust, I need support right now. If you've suppressed your selfishness, give yourself permission to put yourself first sometimes. Set boundaries. Say no. Take time for yourself. The key is, you're not acting out your shadow. You're integrating it. You're giving it a voice in a way that doesn't harm you or others. Here's a powerful exercise. Write a letter from your shadow to yourself. Let your shadow speak. What does it want to tell you? You might be surprised by what comes out. Your shadow has been trying to get your attention for years. Now you're finally listening. And when you listen to your shadow, something amazing happens. It stops controlling you. Because the shadow only has power when it's unconscious. Once you bring it into the light, it loses its grip. Step 5. Transform and integrate. The final step is transformation. This is where the magic happens. Once you've recognized, accepted, understood, and expressed your shadow, you can transform it into something powerful. Your suppressed anger? It becomes assertiveness, healthy boundaries, the courage to stand up for yourself. Your neediness? It becomes vulnerability, connection, the ability to build deep relationships. Your selfishness? It becomes self-care, self-respect, the knowledge that you matter too. This is what Jung meant by integration. You're not getting rid of your shadow. You're making it a conscious part of who you are. You're taking the energy you've been using to suppress these traits and redirecting it toward growth. Think of it like this. Your shadow is raw power. When it's unconscious, it destroys you. But when it's conscious, it fuels you. The most powerful people in the world aren't the ones who've eliminated their shadows. They're the ones who've integrated them. They know their darkness. They faced it, and now they use it. Steve Jobs was arrogant, but he used that arrogance to create world-changing products. Martin Luther King Jr. had anger, but he used that anger to fuel the civil rights movement. You have shadow traits too. The question is, will you let them control you, or will you transform them into your greatest strengths? This is shadow work. This is the path to wholeness. This is how you become who you were always meant to be. Here's your challenge. Right now, take out a piece of paper. Write down 3 things you hate in other people. Then ask yourself, do I do this too? Be brutally honest. This is where your shadow work begins. Insights.